most.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 110 of Report This Post, the podcast about bad posts and bad people. My name is Geiger, and that is Christian.
Let's have a clean show. No N-words, touch gloves, and come out posting.
And we are your hosts with the posts. Every week, Christian and I select a different topic and then find horrible posts for your listening pleasure. Pleasure? Is that what I just said? Boy, here we go. Off to a great start. This week's topic is MMA.
That's right. And
Mixed
this is actually
martial arts.
Yeah, and this was actually chosen by patron Andrew. He was
That's
on
right.
he reached his final level on Patreon and was able to choose a topic for the episode.
That's right. He reached the final level, and then he was killed right after that.
Summarily
He
executed.
ascended to the final level of humanity, and now he's dead. R.I.P. to Andrew. Thank you for selecting this wonderful topic, MMA, mixed martial art. Now, Christian, what is your relationship with the mixed martial art?
Boy, you know what? Zero interest in MMA or UFC,
Yeah.
any of that stuff whatsoever. I can't find enjoyment in two brain dead morons beating the shit out of each other. Really doesn't have no interest, none. So
That's why you don't listen to this podcast. So I remember the first time I heard about MMA was back in 2005. That was 15 years ago. I had a friend of mine said, "You got to watch this shit." And it was one of those like so I was 20 years old, and
Sure.
It was a house party. And
sure.
yeah, the picture of mid-aughts house party. POD is blaring. Everyone is having a great time. The Smirnoff Ice is colder than hell, and someone throws on the MMA, and it was like the idea was it's like boxing but fucking cooler, man. And I remember watching it and being like, yeah, they seem to just be beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And also, I wasn't sure if it was, is there some sort of wrestling aspect to it as well, where it's not entirely real, but it was really hard to tell back then.
Sure. Yeah. No, definitely. It's not a Mark sort of thing. It's not a kayfabe thing. It's those guys are legitimately trying to kill one another when they go out there. So
Yeah, well, I did see posts this week while researching that there are some folks who think the whole thing is just as rigged as wrestling, which
God.
probably not true, but they also probably, I'm sure they'll influence a fight here and there because there's millions of dollars at stake, and why wouldn't they do that? So, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Because these guys are making $1 million a fight in some cases. So
Yeah.
God.
That's capitalism for you folks, right?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. This is what Marx was trying to avoid. Was just two.
Now you
two
just
rednecks
said
beating the shit
there
out of
were
each
no
other.
marks involved.
Okay.
So if Christian, you don't mind, if you want to go ahead and get started, read us a post, and then we can continue the episode until we end it. Then we can then I can go to bed.
Okay, great. This is a guy named Damcho Tata Gelchin posted this in the group UFC Uncensored on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
UFC was brought to the mainstream by Dana White and Fertitta Brothers, but it was made popular by Conor McGregor. His name deserves a respect, especially regarding raising fighters' pay. Just compare the earning of fighters who fought Conor before and after. Nate Diaz went from $40,000 to $500,000. Khabib went from $75,000 to $1 million. And while ripple affected vibe out all the other UFC roster, fighters don't really understand it. And a guy, Faris Al-Khatib, commented, "If you think Conor's the reason people watch UFC, you're a retarded Irish groupie," spelled Gropie, which is great.
Yeah.
Call someone else retarded with two T's,
Yeah.
and then spelled groupie wrong. And then a guy named Steven Vasquez replied, right, and you know dick riding gets you pregnant, right? Which is...
yeah.
You forgot about that insult. That's a very like mid-90s mid-90s thing.
Yeah, this whole exchange is just what I would imagine most MMA discussion is online. Just someone saying that the fighter they like is good and someone else calling them gay because of that.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I would expect out of a lot of discussion. In fact, I believe we have similar things later on in the program that involved such back and forths. So Conor McGregor, big name in the game.
Sure. Small fella, big name. Yeah.
It went to boxing at some point, which had to be a slap in the face to our mixed martial arts brethren. They like him mixed. They don't like one art.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, and I'm looking here at it. He joined the UFC in 2008, and UFC has been around for like or MMA in general has been around for like 35 years. So,
yeah, that's another thing. It wasn't until the research in this episode where I really like figured out that UFC does not automatically equal MMA and vice versa.
No, sir.
There's a lot of different ranks and divisions and all that, which I guess makes sense. It's like, not every football player's in the NFL. Some of them are guys who just hang out with their buddies on the weekend. Like a lot of mixed martial art fighters. They're just guys who like smashing their fists into other guys and putting their thighs around other gentlemen's heads and seeing what happens. Which to me is a very normal weekend activity. Nothing weird about it. But regarding Conor McGregor, I imagine the folks from this next website are big fans of McGregor's. A gentleman named Alpha5150 posted a thread titled "Whites Beat MMA Groids" onto the website stormfront.org. He then linked to a video produced by Black Crimes Matter Productions titled "White Power" in all caps. Here's a description of the video. This is an MMA fight compilation that can hopefully provide a little inspiration. Here's a list of the fights covered. UFC 199, Dan Henderson versus Hector Lombard. The Ultimate Fighter 25 finale, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Johnson. UFC 150, Donald Cerrone versus Melvin Gilliard. Strikeforce, Nate Marquardt versus Tyron Woodley. The song is Boom by POD. So
why wouldn't it be, right?
So Black Crimes Matter Productions put together a video of a few white guys just beating the shit out of some black guys in UFC.
Now, is it a hate crime if they're being paid for it? Probably. It's like the closest thing these guys can get to a hate crime.
These guys have sanctioned hate crimes and they're very excited about it. I like that this is supposed to be this like humongous inspirational compilation. It's only 4 fights. You know what I mean? Like that's probably all that actually was.
Yeah, because meanwhile these crackers are getting the fucking wiped across the floor by these other guys.
By these groids? Is that what you're going to say?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I'm really glad to see that groids has entered the official RTP lexicon here. So that'll be good.
Should we get a shirt with like a... Should it say, these are the groids you're looking for or something like that? Is that a good idea?
Use Obi-Wan. No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I just thought of it. I want to make sure, We'll talk about it off the show, but it sounds like something that...
Yeah, there's a spark there. I got it.
It's great that Boom was the perfect song for that era.
Sure.
Because it said,
they
boom.
They still use it. Yeah, they still use it. And then it's, the clips are cut to the guy making impact.
Of course. Boom. POD was a like Christian nu metal band. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
They had like a weird God angle, which people didn't seem to care about, but Certainly not when they're producing their Black Crimes Matter productions.
Well, folks.
Yeah, go on. Please go on.
Yeah, as if that wasn't offensive enough.
We're starting the show off great, aren't we?
Yeah, real hard. User beautiful_lesbian posted in R off my chest. All trans people should compete only against other trans people in sports and be banned from competing in women's sports. They should be banned from women's sports like MMA because it gives them an unfair advantage and they can be deadly. Transgender MMA fighter Fallon Fox beat his female opponent, Tamika Brent, so severely that she suffered a broken skull. This took place in 2014. They should be banned from all sports with women, sued if they're allowed to compete, and never compete in mixed martial arts. They should also be banned from beauty pageants for women.
Okay. That seems... All right.
And the Punisher 151 commented, all trans people should be sterilized.
Oh.
Great. To which Sky Raider 628 replied, you post lolly, which means your opinion is invalid.
So the Punisher 141 151 what a fucking name. So he posts pictures of underaged I searched usually when I look up a user on Reddit, what I'll do is you go to Reddit and then I'll just type reddit.com/u/the name, but for some reason I just Googled the Punisher 151 Reddit, and the very first thing that popped up is apparently there's a subreddit called N-worder. And what that does is track users' usage of the N-word. So, what that means is that the Punisher 151 used this, and apparently he used it on a thread on our True Off My Chest. The title of the thread was, I Hate Minorities.
It's just like the gift that keeps on giving.
Like, boy, hey, if you're gonna use it, that's a great thread to use it in. I gotta
say. A report this short, the Punisher 151 special. Just post just from that guy.
By the way, a subreddit N-worder. It just tracks N-words used on Reddit. I mean, it must be short circuiting over there at the Reddit HQ.
They got like one of those like Bitcoin computers, like water cooled. That's just like monitoring it.
Yeah, there's 600 posts a second on there. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Sounds like it's gonna take off. The fans are going so fast on it.
So, okay. Let's just say I'm anti-trans, right? Let's just hypothetically say that.
Okay, sure.
I'm a TERF. I can theoretically form a cogent argument about trans women not competing in MMA. What about the beauty pageants? What is the argument there exactly?
That seems weird. I mean, a lot of people came back to that and was like, well, the women in the beauty pageants get plastic surgery too, so they're like a little bit on like more level footing. And the thing about so the fighting thing too is like, all right, it's not like a trans athlete is like walking into the grocery store and like making a beeline to a woman and just beating the shit out of her. Like, this is a person that has agreed to compete, and it's like you don't have to fight this person. You don't have to, like, so to me it's a non-issue, I guess. So it's really, I don't know.
We're going to see more posts where people have differing opinions about the extremity of this issue. And in fact, let's go ahead and get to our next post, which is a very open-minded rant from Facebook regarding transgender athletes competing in the UFC. To be honest, I think they're all trannies. Not just them, but 99% of Hollywood. I'm not talking out my ass. I've done serious research on this. The actors in Hollywood are satanic and worship the Baphomet. The Baphomet is both male and female, and that's what they're trying to be. Laugh if you want, but one day you'll see it's true. Do your own research. It's sick and disgusting. Look at these actors turning their kids into the opposite sex. Angelina Jolie, Pink, Will Smith, they all do it. We're in the last days. We're back to Sodom and Gomorrah. We are fighting for our souls, and people aren't born gay. It's TV, music, and people. Just accept this shit. The best thing you can do for your children is to throw your TV away. It's all bad.
Great.
And that last part I completely agree with. But also, I need to distract my kids a few hours a day, so I will not be throwing away my TV.
Because they're not getting the iPad. I can tell you that much right now.
That's right. Daddy uses that to, I don't know, play Minecraft.
Jack off on the toilet.
Oh, that's right.
I thought Baphomet was a Final Fantasy summon, so this is good. This is good to learn a little bit new here. Cool.
I'm pretty sure it is. That's where most Western religious canon comes from.
That's true.
The Final Fantasy series.
Jesus is Sephiroth. We get it. Yeah, that's right. I do like the. They all do it. It like.
Yeah.
They're all turning their kids into the opposite gender.
Every single one.
Okay. Such a good line.
By the way, this is on transgender athletes. It has nothing to do with Hollywood. And
yeah,
that was the main thrust of their.
Again, somebody that
disgust.
Somebody that doesn't know anything about MMA or UFC. It was just like but I do have a theory, so I'm going to have to get it out there. So, God damn.
Yeah, and that's going to be the mainstream opinion for the next 4 years when Mr. Donald Trump is reelected in a landslide with 700 electoral votes.
It's also going to be the subject topic for like the next 6 or 7 posts for this episode. So let's
let's keep that train. Let's keep that trend rolling.
At LZ at YT tweeted out, "I'm not even going to try and tell a trans person on Twitter that their feelings should be invalid about Joe Rogan's transphobic remarks. They're right." And at Wheeze and Bees, whose bio reads, "Burn survivor, socialist, astrophysicist, 49ers fan," just a real crockpot there, replied, "But also, I'm certain there are cis women with skeletal structures that are more well adapted for MMA than my own. It's not black and white." And a guy at McKaiser commented, "The issue with gendered sports is that prior to hormone therapy, just the bone density alone is a huge MMA advantage. That's the one place where Rogan sets a stake. He'll argue that point, but the idea that Rogan is transphobic is asinine. At worst, he's arrogant about why some things are hurtful. As he's shown in the past, he's humble enough to change when he is educated." So, what exactly was said? Here's a quote from Joe discussing Fallon Fox, the first openly transgender athlete in MMA history, on his wonderful internet radio program. "She calls herself a woman, but I tend to disagree. And she used to be a man, but now she's a transgender, which is the official term that means you've gone through it, right? And she wants to be able to fight women in MMA. I say no fucking way. I say if you had a dick at one point in time, you also have all the bone structure that comes with having a dick. You have bigger hands, you have bigger shoulder joints, you're a fucking man. That's a man, okay? I don't care if you have a dick anymore, or if you don't have a dick anymore."
Right. Yeah. Let me just say, as someone with a dick, I don't have bone structure. Like, I'm mostly jelly at this point, so I don't think this is a great argument.
Just a cake over some pretzel rod arms. Yeah,
I've had dick pretty much my whole life. And, it's not led to any additional bones, sadly. Here's the thing, even if I thought hey, these trannies shouldn't be punching women, I would just be like, yeah, I don't care.
Again, it's
some
a thing
woman
of,
might get punched. Who cares? It wouldn't matter to me.
Again, they sign. They agree to who they're going to be against. So I think it's a non-issue. It really is. So
it certainly should be. But a lot of people online have opinions about it. And speaking of all this, a lady named Katie Herzog on Twitter said this in regard to the pushback against Fallon Fox. I feel kind of bad for Fallon Fox because it would be very hard to have someone with Joe Rogan's platform make fun of you on a regular basis. And to that, at Electric Agora responded, Fallon Fox, a trans UFC juggernaut who bragged about fracturing women's skulls, is now apparently a victim. And we are supposed to contemplate this while also maintaining our Me Too bona fides. Yes, this is a lunatic reality we live in now. So, talked a lot about Fallon Fox, and I should note that this quote-unquote trans UFC juggernaut never actually fought in the UFC, and is only had 6 matches.
Great.
So, and she was 5-1. Some lady beat her down. She did beat another lady up. Broke her skull, but you can also find that in a lot of fights in the UFC because it's a very violent sport.
It is very violent. I'm the trans juggernaut, bitch. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember you saying that to me one time when we recorded. It's totally unrelated to what we were doing. You broke my door down and said that, and I was like, all right, well, I guess that's what
we're doing this now.
Great, thanks. You were dressed exactly like the Juggernaut, but you had a bow tie, or not a bow. Oh God, a bow on your head. Man, I ruined my own joke. It would have been so good. Think of the Miss Pac-Man bow.
That is a good bit though.
Yeah.
It says, speaking of the ladies, this is an article I found. UFC star Andrea Lee has taken to social media to defend her husband's swastika tattoo. The fighter came under fire when she posted a snap of her and her other half, Donnie Aaron, with pro-Nazi ink on his left arm. The picture of them both posing by a lake was quickly the subject of Twitter fury after the controversial tat was spotted. Lee quickly cropped the image and left it on her Twitter and Instagram accounts without a view of Aaron's arm. She said Aaron got the tattoo when he was in prison and insisted that neither of them was racist. Lee posted, "Neither of us are racist. We have an Asian and a black guy that live with us. Oh my gosh, it's a tattoo he got when he was in prison. Get over yourselves. He covers them up all the time and we happen to have a lake day and it makes an appearance." And then she added, "Sensitive ass mofos." So... Cool lady.
Pretty good.
It's always good to see a woman defending her man, I guess, or whatever. Well, here's another article about this duo that was published just 5 months later. The husband of UFC star Andrea Lee allegedly assaulted her after watching UFC 227 earlier this month, trying to burn a cigarette on her arm and body, according to a police report. Lee and Aaron's roommate, fellow MMA fighter Andy Wynn, that's, I'm assuming the Asian guy, called police in Shreveport, Louisiana after Aaron allegedly assaulted Lee following the pay-per-view event. "I'm in the bedroom. I'm trying to sleep in their house," Wynn told police. "I can hear them complaining about UFC fighter Demetrius Johnson got robbed. Then I hear more yelling. He's cussing her out. So I open my door and Lee runs into her daughter's room. Donnie's trying to burn a cigarette on her arm and her body. She's yelling to stop trying to burn her." Wynn also accused Aaron, a former police officer convicted of negligent homicide in 2009, of trying to force his wife to fake evidence that she was cheating, according to the police report. He was trying to get her to pull her pants off and take pictures to send to a guy so it looked like she sent it, Wynn told police. He's fucked up in the head. They've been arguing all week. She couldn't train because he kept her home. He wouldn't let her leave. Wynn said Aaron tried to choke Lee, but she defended herself well, according to the report. She still had marks on her neck, but the abuse wasn't bad this time, Wynn told cops. Aaron is facing charges of false imprisonment and domestic abuse of battery, but has not yet been charged after fleeing the scene. He and Lee have been married for roughly 5 years and have a daughter together, according to the police report.
Great. Well, there is a lot to this story. Holy shit. Totally just tossed in as an aside that Aaron is a former police officer convicted of negligent homicide. Just tossed, just plopped right in the middle of the story. Like, who gives a shit? Like planted like fake evidence that this guy undoubtedly did many times on various crime scenes. Incredible.
Hey, honey, come over. Let me take a picture of your snooch and send it to a guy to make it look like you're sexting him, so I can
do
what? So I can shoot him, I guess.
Okay, why does this Win guy know every fucking detail about these two? By the way, like he knows so much.
They're like they're like legit redneck.
Yeah, these
like,
are just
UFC
unbelievably stupid white trash fucking morons in this house. That's a stretch. Yeah, these are really fucking. And I also like we have an Asian and a black that lives with us, so we can't be racist.
I obviously can't. Yeah.
We did not hear from the black, by the way, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Maybe once he saw the cigarettes being burned on someone, he's like, all right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. The guy with the swastika tattoo is burning his old lady. You know what?
I was gonna give him a chance.
I'm gonna lose my deposit, but you know what? It's probably for the best. I'm getting out of here. Oh boy. Yeah, pretty good. Wow. So what happened to these fine folks? Do we have any idea?
I didn't find a follow up to it. No. This most recent one that was just a month or so back. So.
Yeah, they're probably all completing their classes in finishing school, where they're at Juilliard or. Is that a fancy place, Juilliard? That
yes,
sounds
it
like
is.
A fancy school. Okay.
That's a dance school, yeah.
A dance school. Okay, great. Well, speaking of dancing, UFC is the violent type of dancing. And let's talk about another lady fighter. Her name is Katlyn Chermanera. She's a UFC fighter from Long Island. She goes by @BlondeFighter on Instagram. Okay. Where she frequently posts things for her 80,000 followers. A gentleman named Thomas responded to one of her posts. I still don't think girls should fight, but if they do, they should fight like you. LOL. #respect. And a few ladies piled onto Thomas before he responded, "Stop it. It's an inside joke with me and @BlondeFighter." To which BlondeFighter responded, "I don't even know you." Which is brutal.
Brutal.
Ooh, that's gotta sting.
Reply guys really are on another level, man.
Yeah.
Like, but you got to take that plunge and like endlessly comment and like make up like scenarios, inside jokes with a woman that doesn't know you. If you ever expect her to be like, you know what? This guy's really wanting me, 5 years later, 10 years later, wherever it may be. So you just got to keep pushing it through.
I'm going to guess this guy did the girls shouldn't fight LOL comment on 600 of her posts, which she politely just liked. As she probably likes every comment.
And he's hit it or whatever.
Yeah, we're friends now. Because it's like that one, that guy on Twitter a couple weeks ago that someone discovered his reply to Felix 700 times, and Felix has never responded back to him.
Brutal.
Oh God, that's. Yeah, Felix and BlondeFighter, they're both they're very loose with the pity faves, which is which is kind, but also you get freaks like this guy who think that they're I have inside jokes with this UFC fighter,
with this complete stranger. I'm looking her up. She is she's a handsome woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'm looking at her now too.
She's got a face like a Mack truck.
You know what? There's some angles where you're like, hey, unfortunately, 700 other angles exist. So, yeah. Look,
yeah, that's the misogyny section of the show.
Yeah. Now stick around for the next hour when we'll have a lot more misogyny.
Great. This is one from our MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Serious question. Without the rule against strike to the groins, would MMA devolve into who can kick whom in the balls first? Because it seems even a grazing shot to the groin of a cupped opponent can stun him for 30 seconds. And a guy, Banger25, replied, "Oh yeah, for sure. You'd have dudes blasting each other full force in the dick and balls for sure. It's so funny to ponder about. Like, would they really just be going for shots to the dick and balls? Would stances change to guard from those lethal groin shots?" To which a now deleted user replied, "Sounds sexy." And I kind of wish that he hadn't got rid of his account, because I want to see what else he's responded to.
I would guess one of those. Whatever he said was probably related to why his account is now being deleted.
He's just like on whatever it is.
Sure.
Project Runway, and he's just like asking all the women on there, like, step on his balls with their nice shoes. Yeah. Excuse me, Miss Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved her outfit in tonight's episode. By the way, does anyone on here want to destroy my cotton balls real quick?
Yeah, it's got 2 minutes. 3 minutes is all I need.
Well, please, someone just completely obliterate every part of my groin. Just take a bazooka and shoot it at my fucking dick. Just please. I don't ask for much. Yeah, so apparently this is like a common sort of question, because I found this thread from our Change My View. The UFC should allow testicle strikes. If they allow face shots and liver punches, which can deliver knocks out and incapacitate their opponent, possibly causing life-altering injuries, whether they be over time or instant, then shots to the groin while wearing a protective cup should also be allowed. Be honest, most people enjoy the violence who watch UFC, and in society it's socially acceptable to laugh at nut shots, but in a fight it's deemed dishonorable? Yet knocking someone down, then pounding their face until unconscious or unable to defend themselves is respected? It should be interesting to see new strategies evolve when having to defend a new area that is taught to be targeted in life or death situations. And a now deleted user responded, "The early UFCs actually did have nut shots fully legal. Take a look at Keith Hackney versus Joe Sun for reference." And this, of course, refers to a fight where Mr. Sun had Mr. Hackney in a neck hold on the ground, and Mr. Hackney kept slamming his fist into Mr. Sun's balls over and over again for a full minute before the ref finally stepped in.
The guys in the side of the ring are like, "Ref," and he's like, he can just massacre this guy's nuts for one.
Yeah,
full minute.
I watched it.
I gotta give him the minute.
It was like 58 seconds of just pounding his dick and balls over and over again.
I mean, to be honest, like, if the UFC like tomorrow was like, "All right, dick and nut shots are back," there would be a lot of guys just being like, "I'm retired." Like, I'm not going to do this.
And there would also be a weird amount of guys who are like, I'm in.
Well, that's true, because I mean, some of these guys are probably already pretty messed up down there, judging from whatever stack of enhancements they're on. So they're probably just, fuck it, like,
just pound
this shit hasn't worked. Yeah, this shit has not worked for 6 years. So just go ahead and mash it into jelly. I do not care.
Now, I'm not sure if you knew this about Joe Sun, but he had a brief acting career.
Okay.
He played Random Task in the Austin Powers A Spy Who Shagged Me movie. You remember that?
Yeah.
The big fat Asian guy?
Yeah.
Hey, here's another fun fact about Joe Sun. He's serving life in prison for gang raping a woman. So, real neat guy, that Joe Sun's got a lot going on for him.
Great.
To be fair, he also kidnapped the woman that he helped gang rape.
Oh, okay.
So
All
it wasn't just a
now
gang
it's
rape.
really bad. Now it's really bad. Okay. Okay.
And that'll do it for this special preview of episode 110, Mixed Martial Arts. We have a lot of fun with this one. In fact, we have a whole extra hour of wonderful content for you available over at patreon.com/reportthispost. In addition to all the fun stuff that Christian and I talked about, we have your This Ain't It Chief. We have a voicemail from a listener. We have a preview of next week's episode that you won't get in the free feed, as you're well aware, because you're cheapskate who has decided that you don't care about supporting your favorite podcasters on the planet. Well, that's fine. Karma will come back and bite you in the ass. Goodbye, everybody.